Welcome back to another walk around and test drive at Coyote Classics. I'm Dalton, that's my father Chad, and today we're checking out a beautiful 1955 Chevy. And as you can hear by the sound, you know, it ain't your stock 55 Chevy.
I was just gonna say, it's kind of crazy. I bought this from a guy that's, let's go ahead under the hood quick, and then I'll tell you all about it. Sitting here under the hood, you got a built 400 small block. Motor was built back in 2003. Car they did a frame off restoration in 1993. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So make sure, with this also comes a ton of pictures of the total build, stripped to bare metal. Everything was stripped to bare metal on it. This car's even painted underneath, body color. It's just beautiful. A beautiful restoration. So 400 small block done in 2003, pushing out between 450 and 500 horsepower. Aluminum radiator, headers, beautiful dual exhaust.
Yeah. Great color, just really well built. And looking at it, it's hard to believe that the paint and body was done that long ago, but it has. And since 2003, he did the drivetrain, the new digital gauges. It's got about 8,000 miles on that. So just perfect miles where it's just well broke in, and you know, all the kinks worked out and just still nice and fresh.
He used to take this, he put some drag slicks on it once and took it to the drag strip and ran in the high 12s with it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great for a 55 Chevy?
It is, and it handles awesome too. When we drove this the first time, you're like, damn, this is one that, you know, I would jump in and take on a long power tour just because it handles so well. All the chrome and bright work's awesome. I love the green with the white, and it goes so well with the interior. A lot of metallic in that kind of emerald green.
It's kind of that parchment off-white top with that same color interior. It's just an off-white, a duller white, which just really pops with that dark green metallic.
Yeah, the interior's beautiful on it. Front disc brakes, American Racing torque thrust wheels.
It's got rear disc as well, Dalton.
Oh, four-wheel disc.
Yep,
nice.
Four-wheel disc brakes on this one.
You want to take over?
Yeah, sure. Instead of a Ford 9-inch, this has got a Lincoln Versailles. Basically the same kind of a rear end, but it came out of a Lincoln versus a Ford. So we got four-wheel disc brakes all the way around here. It's got a couple tiny little imperfections here and there. You want to go ahead and point a couple of those out there, D? A couple little chips?
A couple small little chips. But the thing is, this was done in 1993. You know, there's nowhere where I see any Bondo cracking or any bad body work. I mean, just a few small chips. You didn't see that
because it was stripped of absolute bare metal. Exactly. We got pictures to prove it.
Yep.
How about this? I mean, just even in here, I love his color choice. He broke it up nicely. I mean, he built this to keep. If you build something like this in 1993 and you sell it in 24, I mean, he had it for 30 freaking years.
It's awesome.
It's just one of those things he was just selling off of his collection. And a lot of the other ones, the grandkids and stuff decided they wanted. And this and another one are the only other ones that
you didn't have enough grandchildren. You needed 2 more grandchildren. Yeah, that interior is beautiful. It's like a Naugahyde kind of vinyl.
It is.
Also leather.
Very nice and soft. A lot of cushion in it. Whoever did the upholstery did an absolutely stunning job. The headliner's super tight and nice as well. Back door panels are excellent. All the trim and stuff in here is nice. The Bel Air dash, the paint on the dash. He went with a, looks to me like a 61 Impala steering wheel. Pretty cool.
I like it. And it just almost looks right because of the, you know, versus getting some goofy aftermarket one. It looks great.
As we look up and down the sides, really, really a nice straight car. If I look up in the chrome, you can see just a couple tiny, tiny little dings, no chips in or nothing, but not a trailer queen, but something you can take to any car show and be very, very proud of it.
I'll pop the trunk too.
Yeah, you want to do that? That's beautiful. I love that they got the third brake light in the center. One thing he said is this is a station wagon, and I didn't know this before, but it's a station wagon rear bumper. And the station wagon bumper has that little indent, and it has a place for the license plate. Otherwise, your license plate, guys, was up here on the trunk lid. But he was able to put that nice third brake light in there, which looks really cool. One other thing I want to point out right away is there's 2 sets of kick panels. It's got a stereo in there and the radio will work. He had these Pioneer kick panels in there and they look good, but once in a while they kind of rubbed his feet or the e-brake, you know what I mean? It's kind of a pain in the butt. So he chose to go ahead and redo them. 2 sets. That way if you want a radio and you want them in there, go ahead. Look at that. I mean, we didn't even dust that off under there really probably, but look at the quality, huh?
Beautiful.
And make sure you go to our website, coyoteclassics.com. Make sure you go ahead and you check out the undercarriage photos because that's really what's amazing on this 55. You gotta shut that kind of hard, D. There you go. Again, as we look up the driver's side, Michael buffed this out. You know, it came in looking great, but just that final little buff again, you know, really freshened it up beautifully, nice and straight. Tires look good, 255, 45 17s, American Racing wheels.
And it looks great from like standing up and looking in from right here too, because the paint on the dash is gorgeous, matches perfectly with the exterior paint. This is my favorite look at the whole car, is just that interior door panels. It's really sharp.
Another thing that, I know I told them there's a bunch of pictures of the restoration, but there's also a bunch of receipts. There's receipts on the total engine build, I know. Yep. The digital dash, that kind of stuff. Let's see how it drives, should we?
Yeah.
Man, I guess I know how it drives, D, because we drove it a week ago and I was super impressed, but let's show these guys how it drives.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about these things. As far as your lights go, right there, okay. Now, your backlights, this turns, all right? So when that, see, dome light, see that? Yep. Your dome light works with the driver's door. It did not work with the passenger. But you gotta, whoever buys this, you gotta make sure that's turned all the way to the right. Otherwise, your license plate light and park lights on the back will stay on. Okay. That adjusts the dimness and stuff of them. Okay. So lights work.
God, it's got such a great sound.
Wipers work. I mean, it's just an awesome driver. Like I said, radio's gonna work fine. It's got an AM/FM Chevy. But show them what we got there, D.
So you, like Chad mentioned back there, you went with these kick panels versus the kick panel speakers. So if you want, you know, the radio, then you just got to put the kick panel speakers in.
That's it. Or put some, put something else in, whatever you want to do. But really, I guess the guy could take one out and try to find one in here too. Put a speaker in there if that's what you want. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off 1 second, D. I don't remember if that worked or not. Sounds like the heater fan does not work. So far the heater fan and the horn are the only 2 things that aren't working, guys.
Got the B&M Quicksilver shifter.
Nice shifter, ain't it? Those work about the best. Yeah. They really do. With the shifter, guys, you got to go ahead and put this back up to, can't go to neutral and lift it up. You got to go to drive, then you lift it straight up, and then it'll go into neutral, you know, then it'll go into reverse and park.
Yep.
This thing is just so damn awesome.
That's cool. It looks good going down the road too. Brady was just driving it before the video and it just looks sweet. Damn.
You got to be careful. I let off of it. You just got to kind of use your head with it. Here's your brakes. 4-wheel disc. Stop perfect. As far as our volt, right now we're charging at 12.6 here at an idle. We're idling about 500 RPMs. Fuel is 20%. Oil pressure is 40 right now, and the temp's already 185. So we got it running here. Brady just took it down the road before.
And I got to mention this on every digital dash, and the camera looks like it's flickering. It's not. It's just the way the camera shows them digital dashes. But that works perfect.
Like you said, 8,050 miles on it, which is just a ton of nice break-in miles, you know, over the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Just drove it just enough to keep it up to par, right?
Yep.
85, 90 right there.
Fast.
90 mile an hour, boom, boom, boom. Shifting at 45. I think we shifted that small block about 4,500 RPM.
Nice.
Let's just put in drive, let it eat. Now, I didn't like the exhaust tips that the guy had on there. I did cut those off. They were just bigger, right? They were kind of a bigger tip.
Yep.
So we cut those off. It needs a couple nice little chrome tips. But let the next customer choose what they want, right? It's not gonna affect anything. I'm gonna do one more takeoff with it just because it's so fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, those brakes are great. Great stopping power. Does not have power steering, but with this big 61 Impala steering wheel or 60 Impala wheel, I mean, it steers fine.
Yeah, it's got so much torque.
It's really built nice. And how about the idle? You know, it's sitting here right now in gear, down in first gear, still at 600, maybe 600 RPM, and it's still idling just beautiful, isn't it? It's got the right cam, but it doesn't affect the way it runs. You know what I mean? All right. How many 55 Chevys can you go 100 mile an hour and feel that safe?
Not many. It's a fun car.
This is gonna be, I told Dave, today's Wednesday, I told Dave this car will be sold by Friday. I really think it will. I mean, it's just that kind of car.
It's sweet. Yeah, what a car. Check it out on the site, coyoteclassics.com. You'd be the next owner of this badass 1955 Chevy.